Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. It's been a while since we have hung out like this. Good to see some of you here streaming in. I apologize if we're having any issues. I think I need to pop out my chat window here again so I'm not also streaming to myself. For some reason, it seems to do better when I do it that way, but I will need to make it so that I'm not so dim. There we go. That's a little bit better. Doesn't give me as much information about who we're hanging out with tonight, but it is a little bit better for the quality of the stream. It seems like anyway in the past, although that may be disappearing here real soon. I'm going to be upgrading hopefully the internet that I have here at the command center, as well as okay. Sorry, my one volume control on the computer says I'm doing fine, and the one on my M Audio says I'm extremely quiet for some reason, so I hope I'm coming through loud and clear to all of you guys. Welcome to Amanda. Welcome, Broken Wing. Thanks to everybody that is hanging out here tonight. It's been a while again since I've done a stream. It's been a couple weeks. I've been doing some upgrades to the command center. You can kind of tell some of the things are still in the works, and so we'll be adding things here and there over the next few weeks, but just wanted to show you guys how everything was coming along. Hey there, Jeanette. Welcome. So yeah, as you can notice on the flag, I did tear down those lights. I was having some electrical issues with them. They were nice LED lights, but for some reason they began flickering, and I thought that maybe when I was hanging them, because I did use a staple gun, but having electrical work and networking work in my past, I'm very skilled at using that to hang wires without severing anything, and I looked over everything twice, and I had not severed any connections, and so I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it must have been something internal, and so I'm going to be upgrading those and adding some really cool bigger bulbs to the mix, which will light up the flag a little bit better, and I'm going to be bringing them a little bit away from the flag. So you can see I've also added in the background another hanger and put one of the, actually it's called a neon pathos, which is actually giving off quite an interesting, on a camera, quite an interesting shadow with the really powerful black light going there. So it's tripping me out a little bit. It almost doesn't look real on camera. But that's also going to hang one end of the lights, and then I'll have another hanger on the other end so that the lights hang about a good 6 to 8 inches away from the actual flag. And then that should actually give us a little bit better lighting in the background, but it's actually looking pretty cool like this. I don't know, I kind of like it though. But with the better black light, which is directly out of sight, behind me, you can see one of the black lights over here with my ukulele, and that's obviously lighting up the stars and part of the wall, but it wasn't really putting off enough power to do much, and so I opted to get a 60 watt equivalent LED black light spot to go behind everything and kind of project onto the wall. So I think that looks a lot better. I gotta do something real quick too. Oops. Oh my. The only problem with having two different browsers, which is what I do for streaming from two different running two different channels, and to make it. Oh, I probably didn't do that right. Sorry, I'm trying to log into stuff. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I'm going to pause here for just a moment. Oh, there it goes. That was weird. Sorry. I was trying to get into my Twitter account, and it was throwing a fit. So I thought I had logged in using the wrong information, but I apparently either my fingers slipped or something the first time, but I don't know. Anyway, my apologies. Yeah, the only problem with having multiple browsers to have multiple channels is that sometimes it logs you out of things. Oh, sorry, guys. I didn't mean to miss your chats there. I actually was wondering if the chat was still working. I know it's a holiday weekend, so we're probably going to be a little bit slower on the live streams than we normally are, so I kind of thought my chat was broke there for a minute, so my apologies. Hi there, Kate. Hey there, Shauna. Oh, thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. So yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good holiday weekend, whatever holiday you might be celebrating this weekend. Hopefully it's going well. Yeah, I apologize. I was actually intending to be doing a live stream last weekend, but the more I kept doing work, the more work I realized I was making for myself. I had bought so many plants and started to go repot them, and then realized that out of each pot that I had purchased from the store, I was getting at least 3 plants. Some of them, as you might have seen on the Twitter account. Sorry, that kind of distracted me. Mike Scott is trending, and some of you might know Michael Scott, which is a paranormal investigator, and also not the same person, but the character from The Office. And I just noticed that somebody's name that I knew was trending, so it kind of threw me for a second there. Plus, it was sitting right next to his tweet, too, so it kind of really confused me for a second. Anyway, apologize. Where was I? Oh, yes, holiday weekend, so hopefully everybody's having a good weekend. Hey there, Laura. Welcome to the live stream. Gracie, good to have you. Hola. Hope you're doing good. So, yeah, I keep losing track of my thought. My mind's just been racing all day. I've been trying to get stuff done, trying to think about what time was good to stream. I was trying to figure out if it'd even be a good idea to stream at the holiday weekend, and if anybody would have any time to even tune in. So I wasn't really sure what I was doing. So I having even problems speaking right now. But my apologies if my brain is a little bit scattered. I have been literally working on everything today, from trying to figure out where I'm going next for traveling, and trying to finish up here, trying to do cleaning, all kinds of things. It's just been ridiculous. I've been really busy, but I've had to kind of take a break a little bit from social media for the past few weeks, just to sort of reset and take a little bit of a break there. Plans, I'm going to be, I never did end up, since last stream, I didn't end up getting down to Kentucky again yet, so I'm going to be doing that here soon. I have a few smaller trips, including a short, probably overnight trip to Ohio here pretty soon, and then I'm not really sure after that, but I have a lot of I wouldn't call them local travels, but within a few hours range that I'm going to be hitting here to film really soon. And yeah, I was kind of trying to start that stuff a little bit earlier, but unfortunately I got a little bit delayed just because, like I said again, with never really taking a good break for probably almost since I started the channel. I kind of found that the 2 and 3 day breaks that I was taking from here and there were really just not doing the job, and I really just needed a chance to decompress. And so I just sort of said I'm going to take time off. I did a lot of editing. I put a lot of episodes up in advance, as you guys see, for the past few weeks. We've been having a pretty good stream of episodes. I don't know actually that we've been doing 2 week every week. I think 1 week we actually had a bye week and only had one episode, and we may have one like that again here soon. But it'll pick up again and be 2 episodes a week by the next week. I'm just not sure exactly with my upload. I kind of uploaded a bunch of stuff and scheduled it, and unfortunately, I think I made a few mistakes. So if there's any weekends that only have one episode, my apologies. But yeah, and by the summer, I'm actually, hopefully in June and July and August, we should be having 4 episodes a week. Hey there, Gracie. Yeah, actually, yeah. Oh, sorry, I already said hi, but hi again, and yeah, I will be hopefully meeting up with the guys when they make it to Illinois. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hanging out with them again, and it's not too far of a journey to get to where they're going. I believe they'll be somewhere within the vicinity of the Chicago area. I'm not sure exactly though. I don't know if they have exact plans on what they're intending to go and film. I know I'm not going to get into it because I don't know how much they've said, but I know that there was some other reasons that they were going to Chicago, so I don't know exactly what all is going on. But yeah, as soon as I hear from them, I am definitely down to head that way. So it's pretty much less than a day trip away from me. Chicago takes me maybe about 4 hours max, so it's something I could just hop in the car at any given moment and be there later on that day. So yeah, actually looking forward to it. Oops. Wow, that was bad with the type of tweet, and apparently there's hotkeys, and so I accidentally muted somebody and then had to unmute them. All right, sorry, I have somebody randomly just asked me a question here, and I need to answer it real quick. Okay. I had a lot of fun with them. They were really good guys. I loved Joe and Rob, and of course Todd from the Holy Walkers was really awesome too. I think we had a lot of fun hanging out, and yeah, I'm looking forward to them. So yeah, it should be good times. I think you guys will really enjoy the second collaboration. Should be a lot of fun times. So, and maybe visiting a few very old locations that I visited a long time ago on the 539 Productions channel. So you never know. I'm not sure exactly what all we're going to be able to do yet. So I'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, still definitely something that, as far as I know, we're going to make happen here pretty soon. As soon as they're able to make it up this way. So yeah, other than that, I hope everybody's been enjoying the new episodes that have been released over on 539 Productions. Been putting a lot of hard work into those, and turned out really pretty cool. I thought that location was really neat. I'm going to have to somewhere post the link to the recent, what was it, interview. I can't remember what TV show it was on. I'll hold off on talking about that until I can find the link, because Well, I guess it doesn't matter, but I'm going to put up the links somewhere, either on Twitter or probably on Twitter, I'm guessing, maybe Facebook. But David Letterman, in a recent interview on late night television, was discussing skateboarding down the hill at the location that I was filming at last, where all these recent uploads are coming from. And so I thought that was kind of cool, and I thought it'd be kind of neat to share with all of you guys if you hadn't seen it yet. And obviously you can search for it on YouTube, but I did want to come across the link and share it with y'all too. So if you're following me over on Twitter, at some point, probably in the next few days, I'll take a chance to go and search for that. So, yeah, assuming that more stuff doesn't happen, I don't get busy and pulled away. But who knows? I know I'm sure tomorrow will be a busy day. So. Yeah, if anybody had any questions about the recent episodes or any comments, any information to add, let me know. I'm not sure exactly how long this stream's going to be going tonight. Normally, I know we are notorious for the long streams over here on the Mystery Channel. So, I don't know if, again, we're going to be going for any records tonight, or if we're just going to sort of do a quick little catch up and then do a big stream here soon. We're getting really, really close to the 1,000 mark, so many thanks to, if anybody here is one of our newer subscribers, many thanks. Obviously, thanks to everybody. You've all added towards that number, so, a big thank you to everybody in advance of us passing it happened a while ago on the 539 Productions channel, and we've crossed a few other milestones since then. And so it's kind of interesting to be back at this moment where we're sort of at the precipice of 1,000 and about to cross it. And so I think it's kind of cool to be able to experience it a second time here. Who knows, maybe even a third time. You never know what's going to happen in the future here. And obviously I'll be pursuing all kinds of endeavors as things begin to grow, and we've definitely talked about other things in the past, such as the music and possibly even other types of travel series that might not necessarily fit into the adventure travel subject matter that 539 Productions covers. So we'll have to see how all that goes, but at the very least, we are going to dabble and begin into the music stuff probably later on this year, so I'm looking forward to that. So probably I don't really know, but I probably will be doing some sort of introductory type of album or something like that, write a shorter album or something, and then release that in some format on this channel probably, I'm guessing. I don't really know. That's sort of still in the plans. I was going to do it last year, but again, I've said it a couple times, so I won't sort of go into the long story at this time. But there was definitely some issues with the 539 Productions channel last year that we needed to get hammered out, and so I had to put this channel on hold pretty much altogether for a good portion of the year. So now that we're back on track, I'd like to get back in that direction again. Good question, Gracie. Definitely all the above. I obviously search stuff on maps and different online sites. Obviously, a real great way to find new locations is to just drive to the location you're filming and then drive around a little bit afterwards, or get lost, or don't try to necessarily take a straight route home. Just kind of take random country roads and don't, really try to do anything besides just travel in a general direction until you start getting back to where you're trying to go. And a lot of times you'll find a lot of interesting stuff along the way. I mean, I've actually had a good deal of episodes on the channel where I've just been driving down the road and realized looking at a location that I really needed to stop and document it, and so it ended up making a really interesting episode. A few of the Civil War graveyards that I've found have been completely and utterly random, and so you never know what you're gonna find if you just drive, especially if you're off the beaten path. It's kind of crazy how wild things can get out there when you're not near the cities, and some of the crazy abandoned stuff and historical places like the graveyards or battlefields or even like hidden little markers. One of my favorite little short episodes is where I travel to just a marker in the middle of the road, and all it has on it is a little M, and it's to document the place where Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio meet. And to me, that was one of the coolest little episodes ever. And it's just fun little stuff like that you find. Just due diligence in anything will turn out some really cool stuff. And I don't remember how I found that one. That one was not by accident driving, but it was sort of an accidental find while doing online research of some sort. I can't remember exactly how I found that one, but yeah, some of the best research that you can possibly do is just getting lost and looking around. Sort of that head on a swivel mentality. Just enjoy where you're at, look around, see how much you can find, experience it all, and you never quite know what's gonna pop out. You may look over just to glance at the forest next to you and find that you see something way back in there, and it's not natural. It's not a plant, it's not a animal, and you might find that you found something abandoned, or maybe found a little lost graveyard back in the woods or something crazy like that. And I've definitely had those moments, and a lot of them have turned out to be some of my most popular videos, and it was quite a it's quite a good feeling to just be driving. Oh, excuse me. Sorry if that made a lot of noise, guys. But it's a good feeling to be driving and know that you found something randomly that is going to turn out to be really good content. So, yeah, definitely one of the better means of research is just driving around and having fun. And then there's also, occasionally asking other people advice, locals, other explorers. Obviously, you don't want to fully just copy off of other people, but having someone to turn to ask for advice is really awesome, especially if they have a good deal of experience that they're able to guide you in the right direction, guide you to safe places. So that's another one too. Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the best, like I said, one of the best is the getting lost in the middle of nowhere. You're never really going to be so lost that you don't find your way home. There's so many different things that we have now. GPS, you have GPS built into your phone, so even if you have GPS in your car and it fails, you still have a backup. So it's not like you're really taking a hell of a lot of risk being out there. And so just to sort of push yourself beyond your limits, push yourself beyond what you're comfortable doing, and just go a little bit farther down that weird, scary looking road, and it's probably going to lead you to something that is really amazing that you're going to never regret and always remember. So But everybody has kind of their style. But I think most of us have sort of a range. I don't think anybody has any one method that they use. Sorry, I'm going to respond to somebody real quick here. Okay. So yeah, as expected, I think we're having a little bit of a slower weekend here due to the holidays. But I want to definitely thank all of you for being here. I'm going to stay for a little bit longer here, but I may take a quick break here shortly, grab something to drink. This Mountain Dew that I have is definitely running low, and it's starting to feel a little warm. So I don't know. I don't know if I can finish this all. I'm one that, although it's a little bit wasteful, I'll opt sometimes to go get a cold pop and just pour out the hot one. It's probably something where I should just get less or get smaller containers. I don't know. There's going to be some of this stuff here on the second table over here. I have a spider plant. I have a string of pearls succulent and a few other succulents, including one of my aloe plants. So I'm going to relocate all of those and hang the spider plant, sort of like the pothos behind it there on the wall, except it's probably going to be hung right here off of this contraption here behind me, which is sort of like a, it basically is a shelving system. And so that's going to be hanging, and then all those that are in smaller pots are going to be relocated, and then that table will completely disappear to give me a little bit better access, because I did have a nice way to get the chair out of the way when I wanted to stand up and stream, and since I have the desk that can go up and down, it makes it nice to actually be able to get the chair out of the way. And now that I have all these plants in here and had to add the second table there, it made it nearly impossible to get through without a fear of knocking something off or damaging leaves, and I really didn't want to take that risk, so I've been sort of strategizing here over the last few days and moving things around slowly and repotting things, and so I'm going to be repotting a few of those, and like I said, I'm going to be hanging one. You may be able to kind of see the chain hanging here where the string of pearls is going to hang, but I don't know exactly what it looks like. I have my browser window closed, or not closed, excuse me, covering it. No, you really can't see it. That right there. It looks nearly invisible right now, but when the pot is actually attached to it, it should be a lot more visible. And then I'm going to be repotting the money tree here, the big guy down below. Up above, there is actually a smaller one that you can see that's really well lit by the lights up there. And hold on just a minute here. And so I'm going to be repotting the lower one and putting it behind me next to... Oh, I guess you can't really see it right now because it's covered by the spider plant here, but I have a really large... it's a philodendron. It's called a monstrosa. It's like a larger variety of philodendron, and it's a Swiss cheese, so it has like holes in the leaves. So it's going, well, it is directly behind that spider plant and will be visible as soon as the spider plant's hung up here, or sort of here. There's actually going to be another hanger, and it'll go sort of in between the string of pearls and the desk, or not the desk, excuse me, the table here that the money tree is currently sitting on. And so that'll give a lot more space there, and yeah, it'll take care of all the mobility issues that have arisen now that I have so much stuff here. So okay, and oh, by the way, from Twitter and all the way from the UGUE channel, I don't know if she's actually watching, and my bad if I'm calling you out and you don't want to be called out, but many thanks to Mary that just came over and subscribed. Okay, let me pop out this again because we're kind of getting a little bit more dim here of lighting, and I need to brighten things up again. Where are we here? That's looking better. Okay, I just had to reset everything, make sure that the chat was working as expected. Well, I mean, it was a lot of fun. I don't do a whole lot of abandoned places anymore. Although in the past I did do a lot of that on the channel, so it is something that I'm used to. But in terms of like the haunted types of places, I have never done that a lot on the channel. But I have done a decent. Excuse me, I'm gonna reposition myself. um, That's a little bit better. But in terms of ghost hunting, a long time ago, I actually used to do ghost hunting with my car club that I used to be in. And so it's something that I'm used to. So, why I never really got into it on the YouTube channel, I don't really know. It just, I guess it wasn't a big enough passion for me that I wanted to do it as an entire YouTube channel, and so I figured I'd leave that to people like Joe and Rob and Todd, who are truly passionate about the ghost hunting, and so I don't do anything like that, although I have done some things such as like EVP stuff in the past, but like I really don't dabble in it a whole lot other than just a few, like I said, few exceptions. So it's nothing new to me, but at the same time, it was a lot of fun. And they definitely do things different, a lot different than I ever did, and so it was cool to see how people have a different way of doing everything from filming, from whether it's ghost hunting, from the type of channel they have. I think it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I had a really good time with the guys, and yeah, I would definitely do it again. Hey there, Melinda. Welcome. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining our Saturday night live stream. Yeah, so not too bad of a turnout for being a holiday weekend here. So many thanks to everybody that is with us here hanging out. Just tweeted out over on Twitter. Obviously, I don't know where else you would tweet, but yeah, there's that. But anyway, just shared on Twitter the stream, so maybe we'll get a few more people strolling. It has been a busy day, but maybe we'll get a few people coming in here and there and joining us, but who knows. I'm expecting, again, kind of a slow stream tonight. I think most people are busy. I understand that, though. It's one of those weekends where a lot of people travel. A lot of people have families that don't live in the same city as them, and so, it can be a lot of effort to try and travel all these distances, and so I understand that not as many people are going to be tuning in to the YouTube verse on weekends like this, so... Hey there, Faye. Welcome. Thanks, Melinda. Appreciate it. Yeah, they seem to be taking off quite well. I've had a lot of success. I've only really had a problem with one succulent, and that ended up being kind of a good thing because it was one of those situations where I could tell that the root system had sort of kicked the bucket and absolutely everything. And so I think we've kept about 70% of the cuttings off of that succulent so far. Hey there, Mary. Welcome. Yeah, many thanks for the sub. I just had your notification pop up. Oh, yes, the Doll Cave. Yeah, that was an abandoned mine out in the Mojave Desert, and there is numerous dolls there now. It started with one that sort of appeared under very mysterious circumstances, and then more and more began to show up. And some of them obviously have just been brought there by people, and then some of it you can tell is offerings. There was a little bottle of vodka, which is basically an offering that's made to spirits. So, yeah, some of it has been obviously just people bringing stuff in. But some of them did appear under very, very mysterious circumstances. Hey there, Greg. Welcome. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate that. Thank you, Greg. Yeah, I really loved how well that location turned out. Got a lot of really cool episodes out of it, including the grave of President Harrison, one of them, and some really awesome war memorials. Actually turned out to be two of them, including a really cool Eternal Flame. I can't remember which videos have come out when, so I don't know if some of this is spoilers. Not really that it's going to matter too much. It's just sort of a very vague description, but if the video with the second war memorial has not come out, then that should be out by next weekend. Otherwise, I thought it was out this weekend, although it may be coming out tomorrow. So I don't really know, honestly. But if that doesn't sound familiar, then it's coming out probably tomorrow. Because honestly, I cannot tell you what's coming out tomorrow. Possibly Melinda, but I'll repeat that here in just a second. Jade Strawberry, hey there. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope you have a great Easter as well. Yeah, that was probably one of the more, I don't know how you would put it, kind of more emotional statues that I had found so far. Definitely. was done very well, but at the same time, you definitely could tell that person was mourning. Yeah, I mean, like I said when I was filming it, it's just something that it's hardly um, describable. You know, it's just sad. But I mean, a beautiful statue. Reminds me of a place that I really want to go, but I've never have gone. And a few of you have actually have suggested that I go here, and I'm actually planning to at some point. But there's a very famous graveyard or cemetery actually in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm hoping to go and film there, and it has a very famous angel statue there, and that's sort of what that reminded me of, but not really the same feelings that go along with it. The one in Cleveland's kind of almost kind of intimidating presence. Hey there, Andy. Welcome. We are just hanging out here in the updated command center here. About 90% updated anyway. Hopefully everything is going well. Hopefully for all of you out there. And again, hopefully you're having a really good weekend. I realize I'm saying hopefully a lot. Try and correct that. But yeah, I'm really excited about how well things are turning out here in the command center. It's going to be getting a lot better. As you can see, I've been adding more and more lighting effects, and I'm trying to, again, kind of fix this section back here. I like it, but I don't feel like it's well lit enough. It kind of shows up, but kind of doesn't. And I haven't really tried it in the standing mode quite yet. So we'll have to see how that works. I'll have to do another stream here in a few days or something. I can't really move the chair out of the way very well right now. I have a bunch of stuff around the corner from doing all this work, from hanging stuff and cleaning, and I've just been doing so much. I actually did get another coat of paint on the flag as well, so it looks... Actually, I can tell a difference. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference, but now... if my head's not in the way. Yeah, it's a lot shinier. And I feel like it's, on my end, very noticeable. I don't know if on your end it's noticeable, but the last time I feel like we streamed, which was a couple weeks ago before I had done the final, not the final maybe, but the one of the final coats of silver on the skull, it really looked a lot more dull last time. And this time I'm seeing a lot more reflection from the black light over here. And so I'm pretty impressed with that. So yeah, but I got some more paint to do on the bones below, and then I'm going to be possibly, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but I was thinking about spraying a coat of the glow-in-the-dark paint over the top. I have a clear coat glow-in-the-dark that would add a little bit of extra shine to it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. It kind of looks okay the way it is, especially if I end up adding the extra lights up top, so... Blandford in Petersburg, Virginia. I have not been there, but you never know. I will be heading out that way at some point here. There's a small family graveyard of mine, actually, that's out there somewhere, and I will be filming that. But I'm not sure if that's happening this year or next year. It really just depends on how much time we have to get there. So we'll see. There's a lot of travel plans this year. I have to get to so many places. So, but yeah, that is a possibility. And then if I make it out myself on an Eastern trip, then it might be someplace that I could stop by. I would like to get out to New York again at some point. So, yeah, that'd be pretty fun. And it's been a long time since I've been to Virginia. So, I believe my family's is Civil War and Revolutionary War era. Mary, yes. The great question. Yeah, absolutely. I have plans. I have some really cool plans to come over to England and then Europe too. And I'm not sure exactly when they're happening. If I'm really lucky, I might do something later on this year. I do have a quick kind of idea in mind to uh, do. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I don't really have any specific locations in mind, but I do have sort of a broad plan to do a short trip at the end of this year. But if that doesn't work out, then I'm probably going to do sort of a really long road trip across sections of the UK and then on into mainland Europe. And yeah, I can't give too many details away about what's going to be going on there, and I'm not even sure. I'm sure a decent amount of things will end up on the 539 Productions, but the bulk of things from some of these trips might end up on a second channel. Might not go along with the 539 Productions model, but it may. I'm not sure. Or it might be one of those things where it sort of winds up on both channels, where we do sort of a broad road trip video on the second channel, and then do all of the adventurous locations as full episodes on the primary channel. But yeah, I got tons of plans, and England is definitely in there. So very excited to get over there. I know they, especially with the graveyard and cemetery exploration that I do, it's kind of interesting because a lot of our history came from that area, and so it'd be cool to experience that. And then as well, it's a lot older, so we'll get to see some graves from a history a while before anything over here had even really been built up by the Europeans. So obviously there would have been ancient Native Americans here who had done their own building, but in terms of European history, a lot of that is going to obviously stem from Europe. So, yeah, I think that'd be interesting to experience. And I'm not sure if we have any knowledge of my family before we came over. I know that we have some German and Irish ancestry, and then I believe some English ancestry. I can't remember exactly where all my family is from, but I'm not sure if we have any info on who, or I should say, on any of our ancient, or not ancient, but our relatives from before they immigrated over here. So I don't know. That'd be interesting to see if that would be possible to track down some people and maybe visit some family members over there. So that'd be a cool idea. Hey there, Pam. Welcome. Good to have you here. Yeah, absolutely, Mary. Yeah. Love to. Maybe we'll have to bring the UGUE guys and the Holy Walkers over, and we'll do a meetup in the UK. I think that would be a lot of fun. Which was oddly something that we were talking about in Alabama, of all places. I don't remember what got us into the UK conversation, but at some point we had discussed that it would be fun to go to the UK and do some exploring sometime. About myself personally, I mean, I'm a fairly open book. I don't tell, like, you know, too many details about my location for some obvious reasons. That you know, um, well, some of the things that have been happening recently, but obviously nobody that's here, I would think would fall into a category that would be dangerous with any information like that. But in terms of pets, I don't have any pets. Just my plants. I am currently single. No roommates. Yeah, I mean, in my professional life, I am a photographer. I sort of do information technology work. I have done a lot in the past, but I more do I would say light consulting type work right now for people from time to time, but rarely make money from it anymore. But yeah, that's my background is photography, still photography, and information technology. So, uh, one of the many reasons that I thought it'd be cool to get into YouTube because I felt like it would sort of meld together everything that I already knew, including my growing hobby of videography, which I never considered myself to be quite of a professional in, but I definitely dabbled in it. So it sort of married all that together. So I thought it was kind of a interesting way to do that. So, yeah. And as I've said before on past streams, it gave me a way to sort of make my own artwork. And I did a lot of weddings in the past. And so I was always sort of making other people's artwork. And then I've done portrait photography, I've done rock photography. And that was a lot of fun too. Portrait photography is not that much fun. Rock photography is a lot of fun. It's very difficult lighting, but definitely, probably, at least for me, the most rewarding in terms of taking photographs of other people. I thought it was a lot of fun and got to meet a lot of cool people. But yeah, other than that, especially in the Midwest, photography can be somewhat limiting and a very hard field to work in. Around here, the market is sort of centered around your $10 super center Photoshop type situation where you have a couple cheesy backgrounds. Not to insult anybody that has gotten those photos and been satisfied with them. Obviously, if it's something that you're satisfied with, that's the way you should go. But for a photographer, it's tougher to look at because you see a lot of a lot of times, with a few exceptions, obviously, some very amateur work being done for very cheap. And of course, a lot of weddings nowadays are done by family members or taken on cell phones, and the quality is getting better and better, so that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does provide an ever-changing market for professional photographers to sort of maneuver through, and that goes along with the area as well. Like I was saying before, being a photographer in the East Coast is one thing, being it on the West Coast is another thing, and being in the Midwest is just nearly impossible. So that's just the way it goes. But if you find your little niche market that you can get in, and you can make a career out of it that way, that's probably the way to go. Matthew Fox, welcome. Good to have you here. Newborn photography. Yeah, yeah, that's a really huge market here for that too. Unfortunately, a lot of the hospitals have a stranglehold on it, so they'll hire one photographer who's allowed to sort of freely roam the hospitals and sell newborn photos um, to families. So definitely a great market, but they've kind of made it really difficult in this area because it's like by the time they get home from the hospital, they've already dumped like $500 on shots from the photographer at the hospital, who's probably a professional as well. And so they have sort of this false monopoly. So it makes it a little bit rough, but yeah, definitely a good market though. Definitely can make a lot of money doing the newborn photos. Thank you, Laurel. Who knew? Either. Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, I've been really having a lot of fun with this recent location. Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I would love to have been in that market. Cause yeah, here, they literally somebody just roams the halls. I mean, they're waiting for you to give birth, and then they walk in with the flyer, or they've already walked in with the flyer and told you, hey, whenever it happens, just give me a ring. I'll be in the hospital, and we'll set it up. And they literally provide them with everything. I don't know if they have to set up their own studio. Obviously, you need special lights and everything so you don't hurt the baby's eyes or anything like that. So I don't know if the hospital actually gives them money to set the studio up or gives them a official studio, but I know from what I've seen years ago, you had to provide a certain amount of equipment. But yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I would love to make it out to New Jersey. Definitely gonna be making out to the New York area again, so that's obviously just a short car ride away. So I would love to do that too. But yeah, I don't think I've ever officially actually been to New Jersey. I might have very shortly when I was in New York last time. Well, that's been a very, very long time ago, and I can't really remember. And if we did, it was for just a few hours. Oh yeah, glamour shots. That place is funny. Um, yeah, I never understood the premise of it. Like, other than it's like you're going into a shop, and it's like they're almost. It just reminds me a lot of them. I don't know if it's this way anymore. I can't say it. I don't want to like be insulting in any way, but when I used to see them a long time ago, it just reminded me of like the '80s models and stuff, where they had the huge poofy hair and all that. So I don't really know if they do that anymore. But yeah, I think they do kind of go overboard. Nothing like that in England. Yeah, that might be a lucky thing. An ambulance chase. I'm not sure what that means. My Oh yeah, yeah. I got you now. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that, Matt. Yeah. Any information you have, you can email me over at 539productions at gmail.com, and I'll get back with you. But yeah, I would appreciate that. Yeah, see, that's the weird thing is I find a decent amount of people that have tried it, but I rarely find anybody that likes the results of their glamour shots. It's sort of like one of those businesses that relies on the first timers, because no one's ever coming back. So they just got to constantly get a stream. Can't talk. A constant stream of new people coming in the doors. Otherwise, they'll just go out of business. I think our local one went out of business years ago. I don't even think I've seen it in 10 years. I don't even know. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that. Yeah. Again, I try to make it all over. I'd like to get every state on the list checked off here. But yeah, send me on over, and I will definitely try and include those locations on the upcoming episodes. I might be making it out east again here soon. I'm not sure exactly when. How tall am I? I am 5'4". I feel like there's got to be a way to adjust the spring on here so it's not quite so rigid. But that's not too bad. Yeah, I would bet. Yeah, pretty much the further you go east, for the most part, obviously, there's some exceptions depending on whose colonies you're going towards. Obviously, out west, there's some Spanish colonies that are pretty old, but in terms of American history, it usually gets a lot older the further east that you go, because you get towards the original colonies. Yeah, I'll hold on. Yeah, Maryland's actually where my family cemetery is located. So, yeah, I'll definitely be out there filming. Like I said, either later on this year or early next year. My dream location? I don't really know. I don't, I don't know that I have any one. I just kind of like seeing as many different cool things as possible. So, yeah, I don't know that I would have one that would top any of the rest. But, I mean, before it happened, California and all the western locations were kind of dream locations. I had always wanted to go to the desert. I'd always wanted to visit the West Coast, and hadn't really had the chance to do that. And so that was kind of a dream location. And then, again, it's always been kind of a dream to knock every state off the list. And so, going to places that any state that I haven't been is always something exciting. And so, like when I went to Alabama, I'd never been to Alabama, period, and I had never filmed there. And so it was sort of marking two things off the list at once. And yeah, I thought it was another cool one. And then obviously I went to some states that I didn't get to film in last time when I went out west. Went through Nebraska, and didn't get a chance to film there. I was in Colorado, and I got a chance to stream there for a very short period, but I didn't get a chance to actually do some of the full episodes that I wanted to do. And I have a few locations still marked on the map in Colorado that I need to make it back to. So, but yeah. All right. Well, we just passed an hour here. Again, many thanks to everybody that's hanging out here tonight. Probably go for and even if you don't, you might have things to do. So, but we'll keep going here for a little while longer. I don't really know. Just gonna sort of play it by ear like usual, and then at a certain point, we'll call it a night. And then again, as soon as we pass that 1,000 mark, at least a strong pass, I think you guys understand what I mean. Like, channels like the second one, which are non-monetized and don't move quite as quick as the primary channel, have the sort of ability to slip backwards temporarily. And so I hate to have like a stream right at 1,000 and then sort of slip back a few to like 998 or 999 and cross that 1,000 mark again. So either way, if for some reason it takes us a while to get past that mark, I'll go ahead and stream again. Hopefully in a few days here. I should have some updates again in terms of the command center and the ongoing updates that we're doing here. And once I pass the 1,000 mark, I do want to try and up the ante a little bit here on this channel and start doing more streams, maybe trying to do 2 to 3 streams a week at least. So 5-2, yeah. I'm a big supporter of the short crowd. 3:11 a.m. Wow. Yeah, it's getting late there. Yeah, it's only 10:16. Well, 10:16 now here. Yeah. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully we'll be doing a lot more live streams here. Been trying to do more recently, but again, just been spending a lot of time concentrating on the upgrades to the command center here and upgrades to the lighting and all that. And so as that finishes up, our streaming should increase. So we're pretty much at the end, though. A lot of my work will be done tonight, and then again, I'll be adding a few additional lighting effects. You might be able to see there's actually a lighting effect on the floor. You can see sort of the strobing colors behind me right now. And I put a LED panel, or not panel, but a LED string behind the plants and props behind me here. And it is stuck on there to the wall in various places to light up everything. I think it'll show up a little bit better in standing mode because the camera is so much farther up and has a better angle. So I think it'll show up a lot better then. But I don't know if you can see them. Some of them are actually visible. Those won't always be visible, but you can see it when I turn. That there's like 3 LEDs that are visible. But yeah. It's coming along. It's getting there. I've used a couple different programs, and it just depends on the situation sometimes. But when I first started a long time ago, I just started using free stuff, which works really well for a lot of things. I've used when I first began the free Windows Movie Maker, even, and not on YouTube ever, but and then when I started YouTube and I had bought one of my Macs, I started using the iMovie, and now I'm currently upgrading to Adobe Premiere. So, yeah, that's the current situation. But most of the videos that you're seeing right now uh, weren't done on anything special. So it's all mostly free editing software. But again, I'm going to be editing in the future on Adobe Premiere, and maybe some After Effects. I don't know that I'll have much use for it, but we'll see. But yeah, notice that YouTube has been. Oh yeah. um. Yeah, some of the reasons, it just depends on everybody's unique situation, sort of. Yeah, there's been some mistakes that have occurred. A few channels have been demonetized, even though they probably shouldn't have been. But it just depends. There's some pretty strict rules in terms of copyright law and stuff that I guess sort of needed to be addressed anyway before it ended up being a legal issue in the future between YouTube and a lot of these companies. But yeah, so unfortunately, a lot of people sort of get caught in the middle of it, and it makes it rough. But yeah, if you accidentally have a song playing in the background of a video, you could get demonetized. Yeah, it just depends. You just got to be careful what you post anymore. But it sounds really bad, but I think in a lot of ways it's good because it's going to pave the way for the future for YouTube to take a more serious role in the content creation community, and I think that's sort of the direction that they're trying to move things now. You see a lot of YouTubers are being taken more seriously now. The YouTube format, the YouTube platform is being taken a lot more seriously now by the Hollywood community, by the television community. And so it's, although it seems bad right now, it's sort of in an effort to transition our platform into a serious content creation platform, and that comes with some give and takes. It's while it kind of shortens or narrows that spectrum of what's allowed to be on the platform, it does in some ways protect people too. I've had people steal my content in the past and then try to put them on other channels, and so there's been a real issue with people taking other people's videos or posting full episodes of television series. And so it's sort of one of these situations where all these people have gone, a few bad channels have gone and made a bunch of content that caused us all to sort of have to pay. But again, like I said, in the end, I think it will make us sort of better in that we'll be treated much in the same way as television or movies. Just another spectrum. And yeah, while there's some debate on whether it should be so censored, or yeah, as you say, family friendly. It's not as bad, I think, as people are making it. I still watch a lot of channels myself, and I see a lot of not necessarily adult, like you would categorize it, but like in terms of like adult language, I see a lot of channels get away with it and not really have a problem with it. I watch uh, Jenna Marbles and Julian Solomita channels, and as well as their joint podcasting channel, and they rarely censor anything that they say, and they are monetized and haven't really had any issues. And although, yeah, there might be some different rules for the big guys and as compared to the smaller channels, it's not so family friendly that you can't get away with anything. And you know, you just have to be somewhat careful, I guess. But like I said, it's in an effort to help people like me and like some of you guys out there to be able to make a living doing stuff like this, and to be able to explore different areas of careers. This is definitely a form of videography and photography for me, but at the same time, this is social media as compared to working for any one individual person. And so it's a really I think it's an important experiment into what's possible in the digital career, in the digital lifestyle, the social media, and yeah. So I mean, there's gonna be some, like I said, some gives and takes, and while the sort of broad spectrum of content in the past was in a lot of ways good, there was some stuff on there that just was completely off the wall, unacceptable, shouldn't have been allowed to begin with. And I think that's what a lot of this is targeting. Although again, the horror stories that you hear, I think, are sometimes the mistakes, is what I'm saying, I guess. I feel like some people do get caught in the middle where it's like they might cuss a few times on their channel, and then accidentally the algorithm sees that and it's like, oh, this is all adult content, let's demonetize it, and turn off the comments and all this. And so yeah, there are some risk, but it's sometimes you just hear the worst case scenarios, and those are the viral videos. I said one thing one time and my entire channel, is now demonetized and can't, do this and can't do that. And those are obviously the videos that are going to get the most views. But again, you got to understand that there are, for every channel that has a horror story where they no longer can have a comment section, or they no longer are monetized because of the language that they use in the channel, there's probably 10 other channels that do fairly similar content and get away with it, including, like I said, like the Jenna Marbles, her boyfriend Julian Solomita. I mean, you got your drama alert channels that, say anything and everything almost, and are still monetized. And, like I said, it just depends on each channel's unique situation, I feel like. Sorry, I'm ignoring the chat a little bit. My bad. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing some longer format content. Again, that's one of those things too. Some channels it works on, some channels it doesn't work as well on. Some of the longer content hasn't worked as well on the 539 Productions channel in the past, and so I've tried to keep it at a certain limit. Having videos up to about 20 minutes long, but rarely over that. And yeah, at some point in the future, I would like to include some more longer videos, though. It's not that I don't want to. It's just that at the moment, for some reason, the algorithm with my channel favors shorter videos, and so I do that for the health of the channel, and because some people out there do request shorter videos too. I say it's about 50-50. I have a decent amount of people that say they would rather me keep it short, and I have a decent amount of people that, like you, say that they would like to watch the longer videos. And really, I'm kind of neither here nor there. I just like to release what you guys like, and so I would love to do a little bit of both, honestly. Absolutely, Jade. Yeah, yeah. You just gotta feel it out, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, you just tone it back to the point where it does work, and you do what you can. But it's always a mix, you know. Some people think that means you're selling out, but not anybody here. I'm not making any judgments on any of you guys, but you know, some people out there do think that that's sort of a way of selling out, and you know, again. I think it's important for creators to look out for the health of their channel according to the algorithm, according to their fans, and you ultimately want to be true to your own passions and to your own direction that you want the channel to go. But there's nothing wrong with tweaking things for your audience either. So, yeah, that's where I am right now. So, yeah, in the future there will be some more longer content though. I definitely want to sneak it in there, and I think at some point it's just not going to matter as much, and so I'll just sort of switch back and forth. We'll have some shorter episodes from time to time and then some longer stuff. So there'll be a greater mix in the future, for sure. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of tweaking, I would say. Not a lot of changes, but a lot of tweaking this year on both channels. Just sort of getting things to the right consistency, the right lengths, the right mix of locations and types of episodes, you know. Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, I try to sort of inspire that interest in personal history, I'd call it, you know. That understanding that what we learn in school is just although it is the big stuff, the big moments, it is a very small sliver of the whole picture. And so to bring light to that side of things, I think is kind of cool. And again, I find a lot of these places have some really interesting architecture and really interesting stories. Again, we've found some plaques with personal stories on them that are absolutely amazing, and stuff that you would never really expect to find, you know. Yeah, I do have a hard time understanding people destroying the headstones. Sometimes it's by mistake. Sometimes it is on purpose. I have seen a few news stories recently of people going through and doing damage. A lot of times, it's younger people who aren't making good decisions, and that's usually what you run into. And then sometimes it's, again, like I said, mistakes. I've actually talked to a relative of a owner of I know that's a lot to take in there, but so my friend that I did videos with, a couple videos with, his name's James. One of his relatives owns a tree trimming service, and one of those times they were contracted to clean up a graveyard. They actually made a mistake, and one of their lines that was while they were trimming this big branch, they had supported it with some sort of roping and a crane, I guess, and something happened and the big branch came loose and crashed down onto a bunch of the headstones and did a lot of damage. And so similar things like that happen in a lot of locations where people who don't necessarily have the experience necessary to clean up these places go in and they'll try to clean up the places and actually do a lot more damage than they do cleanup. And so it's one of the main reasons that I don't do a lot, and only here or there move something if it seems like, like a stone's rolled down a hill, I'll put it back up at the top of the hill. Or, if something has fallen over, like a small little trinket or statue or something, I'll set it back up. But it's one of the main reasons I don't ever try to move anything big or make any major changes to these places, even though it seems like it might be a good idea to come back and, do my own personal cleanup operation as sort of my charitable, giving back to these people. And I really think at the end, the best thing I can do is to bring attention to these places, because I'm not a professional and I feel like I could do damage. And so again, sometimes it's on purpose, sometimes it's by mistake. It's always kind of a tragedy. It always is a tragedy, but it's very unfortunate. Yeah, occasionally I do run into people that are just sort of hanging out, or a lot of people do exercise. I run into a lot of joggers. Some people come and just hang out and read books, and some people just walk around and enjoy the scenery. Yeah, and a lot of times with the older Civil War graveyards, some of them seem like somebody has come through and just like pushed everything over, and a lot of times it's just erosion. Um, when you have a large stone sitting on top of grass, and it's been there since the early 1800s or mid 1800s, and it hasn't had anything put underneath of it in a long time, it will slowly, or I should say, the dirt will slowly erode out of underneath it, and it'll begin to pitch in one direction or the other, and then fall over. And so some of it happens naturally. Um, I have a tattoo of a globe in the palm of my hand, and I have a bunch of stars, basically. Some of them I'm going to be getting updated and added to. I have a few more here and there, but some of it I'm going to be changing out here pretty soon, so some of it's going to be looking a lot different probably in the next few months or so. So I'm actually looking to add a little bit of an arm piece, but I'm not sure exactly when that's going to be happening. Hey there, Arlen. Yeah, that would be actually really interesting to see. I would love to sort of film an operation like that sometime. Yeah, animals can definitely do a lot of damage. Yeah, that's a very good point. Kenneth, hey there. Good to see you. 2 on each arm. Awesome. big supporter of the tattoo and body modification community. Love it. Definitely going to be doing some stuff. Sorry, I'm partially blocking my head. I need to tweak this setup too with the camera too. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to be doing some, not, obviously I don't tattoo, but I will be getting some of my tattoos on stream here. And maybe some piercings. I don't know. It would be a short stream, I guess. But I think it'd be a lot of fun. The tattoos obviously wouldn't be short, but I used to have my septum pierced, which is the part in between your nose. And for some weird reason, it closed up over like the period of like 2 weeks that I had it out after having it in for like 2 years straight. So I'm going to probably be going back at some point and getting that re-pierced. So I might be doing that on stream. Laura, hi. Welcome. Good to have you. Thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate that. Yeah, my nose was my first sort of jump out of my ears. And I liked it a lot. I actually didn't find it very painful either. And it was really easy to hide too. Because with the septum piercings, a lot of people don't know, you can actually flip it upside down and then the piercing's completely hidden. So that was one benefit to having it. I could, whenever I wanted, just make it disappear. Although I also don't promote that as someone who's proud of the culture that I've been a part of, and so it's sort of I like it, but then again I don't like it. But yeah, so that might happen. I don't know. All right, I need to take at least a short break here. I'm not gonna make any promises. It's a very, very close gas station, and I kind of feel like running down the street real quick. I don't know. Either that or I'm just going to run down and grab another Mountain Dew, but I just don't know if I feel like another Mountain Dew right now. I don't know. We'll see here. I'm going to go on a quick break, and then I'll be right back. It's not going to be a long break. Yeah. So, many thanks to everybody for joining me here tonight. I hope that you all can stick around through the break. If not, I hope that you all have a great rest of your holiday weekend. And whether or not you're celebrating or not, if you're not, make sure just to have a great weekend. And I will catch you in the next stream. And if you are sticking around to the other side of the break, I will be back here shortly. Sorry to sort of throw that on to you guys here real quick, but things are going to start closing around here real soon, and I'm not sure if I have any alternatives to the Mountain Dew. So if I don't do this quick, I might end up missing out. So I will see you all shortly here, probably maybe 10 minutes. So yeah, if any of you want to set your clock and just come back too, that's cool too. But appreciate you guys. Love y'all. I'll see you here shortly. Welcome back, everybody. Ah. So I decided to go to the gas station. So I decided to go to the one that specifically was closing soon, because I figured that'll be the best bet. It's really close, and yeah, I got there and it was actually busy, so I had to sit there and wait in line. It was kind of ridiculous. Um, Literally everybody showed up within 10 minutes of the place closing. So I'm not sure what all I missed. Excuse me. I forgot I had the mute button for that. I have like the radio mute button now. If you've ever wondered why you rarely hear anybody ever clear their throat or cough on radio, it's because they have a really handy little mute button. So they go, and then they go back to talking. So, yeah. I ended up setting my space key as my mute button, so just in case something like that ever happens, I can mute real quick and not disturb everybody, or especially all those headphone users out there. So I just ended up picking up a energy drink at the gas station. Nothing exciting. We got a Monster diet, so 0 calories, all the energy, supposedly. I don't know if that's true. Hey there, Lori. Good to have you. Thanks for joining us. Oh, man. I think I'm missing a lot now. Yeah, I see a lot of chatting going on. That's awesome. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Glad that you were able to chat amongst each other. Hopefully I didn't miss any questions or anything. Okay, cool. Looks like everybody was just having a conversation amongst each other. So, yeah. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to have a mute button in real life? Somebody's partying out there. Anyway, probably a window closed sort of night. I don't know what's going on outside, but some people are out there, and they are being a little rowdy. However, yeah, I guess that goes back to the date. Maybe they're having a party. I don't know. Getting to know each other, awesome. That's good to know, Matthew. I hope that's all right. I know as someone who has the same name, if you'd rather me just say Matt, that's fine too. I don't really care. Don't tell. Oh, I saw PA and I thought I was thinking Pennsylvania. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that the diet's a little bit better, minus some of the sugar. So it should help theoretically. Have I ever found a grave? I actually looked up info. Yeah, I do from time to time look up information. I had a series not too long ago. I think I released it in 2017. I can't remember what it was called. I think it's called The Legend of the Witch of Devil's Hollow, and it's about a urban legends surrounding a real person, and I actually looked up information on that person and was able to visit the location of the urban legend as well as the location of her actual grave. Um, and then there's some of the stuff that I filmed in Kentucky where we just knew the people's histories because they were friends of the family years ago or um, you know, in the same community or whatever. So there we go. Oh. YouTube's having a hard time with censoring right now. It's thinking things are bad again when they're not. I'm going to be doing a series here in the coming future. I was going to do it a long time ago, but I ended up having to leave for California. And it's going to be doing a deep dive into the history of a graveyard around here. It's a pretty unique graveyard in terms of its history, and so we're going to be doing a deep dive on the history of that location in an upcoming episode. I haven't begun filming for it yet, but I should be filming here actually probably within the next few weeks. I'll be doing that probably series of episodes. I'm sure it won't be able to be done in a single episode. Awesome, Lori. Good to see you having fun. Yeah, hopefully enjoy the holidays this weekend, whichever holidays you might be celebrating. I know there's a few different things happening at the same time, as is pretty much all holidays in the United States anymore, and a lot of times around the world. But I feel like in the U.S., like every day, it's like trending two different holidays. It's like Pancake Day and like National Shop at a Gas Station Day. Like it's just getting ridiculous. Like we're inventing like noises. Sorry, I'm reading your comment. My noise in my car. But we're inventing new holidays. But what's with the noise in my car? Something's wrong with the suspension in the back. I need to get it repaired, but nobody seems to know what it is. So I don't really know, but I'm gonna be getting that looked at here soon. Have I been to Springfield Cemetery? I don't think so. Unless I'm forgetting a name. But yeah, I don't know. Unless you're talking about Illinois, and then no. The oldest grave I've ever found would be since I really haven't done any filming out east, a lot of them aren't super old, but I found some early 1800s, I think 1811. Cuz I believe the oldest I found was 1 year before the War of 1812, so would have been 1811. And I think one of the oldest, well, several of the oldest, I think now I've found, in the Midwest here, I've found 3 different Revolutionary soldiers, Revolutionary War veterans, and those were really old. A few of those were pre Civil War by quite a while. Although I do find pre Civil War quite a bit. Yes, yeah, it is definitely April 20th today. Very significant date that oddly coincides with Easter, which is kind of a weird, not really correlation, just a weird coincidence that, yeah. Oh, how old? Okay, my apologies. Um, I know I found a few people over 100. Now, I don't want to say. 'Cause I will say. When I go down to Kentucky, I will be filming one that is going to break all of the records that I've filmed on my channel. I have one in particular, which is a very, very, very old person um, that is buried near the area where I filmed the last time that I was down there. And so I'm going to be filming that, and that should be the oldest. Tell Joe if yeah. I'm using my phone right now to actually film, so it would be a little hard to text him. That is something. Or my phone, which doesn't give me the opportunity to use my phone. But I will let him know that I saw you in chat, for sure. The oldest in Kentucky you found was 103. That is getting up there. No, you're fine, Gracie. No worries. Yeah, I love Joe. I talk to him from time to time. So yeah, I'm sure the next time that I talk to him, I'll have to let him know for sure though. I need to get him on stream sometime here. I've been wanting and planning, and I keep putting it off and putting it off. But I've been planning to do like streams where we actually do have guests. I would love to have Joe and Rob on. I've been talking with. I think I mentioned it to Xavier. I can't even remember now. I've been talking to so many people recently about so many different subjects. I can't really keep up on what I'm talking to people about. But also Ryan from RJ30. I know I mentioned it to Ryan. So Ryan from RJ32 channel might be coming on stream at some point. He's been in the chat from time to time, but I would like to have him on in like sort of like a do like a interview sort of style where we have like him in the picture in picture, and then have like a little bit of a conversation about his channel and about maybe some of the stuff that we did together, and yeah, and the same on the other creators as well. I would love to get these people in to sort of discuss our times that we had together. I think that'd be really cool. Absolutely. I will make sure to tell him, Mary. Yeah, and anybody that wants to tweet at me, I can always pass your messages along via Twitter, although obviously you guys can do that too. So it might not be quite as, I understand, quite as special. So, but yeah, I will send you guys' love along to Joe. And yeah, hopefully I'll be meeting up again with him here soon. But yeah, anybody that hasn't had the chance to meet the guys in person, they are really genuine individuals and incredibly nice, and all that energy that comes through on the videos is every bit them in real life, and isn't just an act that they're putting on for the videos. You know, they're truly enjoyable people to hang around, and like I said a couple times before now, you know, as much fun as we had on camera, we had so much fun off camera too, and I really enjoyed that experience. Wait, what? That's his whole name, or are we talking to somebody? George Rogers Clark Todd was Abraham Lincoln's brother-in-law. That's a very long name, and I did not know that. I used to have a friend that was related to, oh well, Todd, because Todd was his wife's maiden name, which Mary Todd. So yeah, that would have been, yeah, his wife's sister or brother. Apparently, I can't think at all tonight. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense now. I'm slowly catching on. Had to remember my history there for a minute, but yeah, I had a classmate back in high school with the last name. Two classmates actually back in high school with the last name Todd, and they were supposedly related. Awesome, thank you, Lori. Yeah, I knew there was a famous Mary in there, and I wasn't sure if I was mixing them up for some reason. So I know every once in a while I accidentally do that. I do need to somehow adjust this mic setup eventually, because I feel like anytime I need to use the computer, I'm like reaching in front of the mic, and then it looks distracting on camera. Yeah. But that all should be changing here relatively shortly. And we should be going back up to the regular kind of standing up streams here. Once I'm going to figure out the audio situation, so that in case my feet get tired and I decide to wobble back and forth on my poor flat feet, I don't cause horrible audio issues like I have in the past. And I think I can do that a couple of ways. I might add a preamp into my existing audio setup, or I might just get a new microphone altogether. So I don't really know. But we're going to be adjusting that here, and then I'm going to be getting a new camera mount, which will hook on to the moving desk, so that as the desk height is adjusted, the camera height is automatically adjusted, which is sort of the way it is right now, but it's too low still for the desktop to be in full stand-up mode, because it would only shoot about to like chest level. So could it be set up behind the desk? It could be. I'm not sure how well it would work. Supposedly there can be some, because I would have to switch to a wireless camera to do that, so or get a really, really long USB cable to just lay on the ground. So I'm not really sure. I could do it with I do have the ability with the software that I use to transmit the video between my camera phone and my Mac. It can work wirelessly if I get the other the other plugin for it. However, supposedly there can be some audio latency, and so since I'm running my audio from my microphone here, and that's directly connected to my Mac, and then to do it wireless video, I would have to stream the video over my Wi-Fi network to my Mac, and then from my Mac to YouTube. So there could be then a slight discrepancy between the audio and the video, so that it basically you heard what I was saying slightly before my lips moved. So it would just look, it could look ridiculous. It depends. I might experiment around with it. I would like to have it at some point anyway, even when I get a dedicated camera, just because I would love to be able to have multiple angles, and I would love to be able to have like some streams that would do like this sort of like IRL setup, and the sort of podcasting setup, have other cameras, like if you watch like the Jenna Julian podcast, they have like dog cameras where they'll, have a camera on their dogs that are sitting below their desk or whatever. And I thought it'd be kind of interesting to have like different scenes in different places, to maybe hang some cameras near the plants, or hang some cameras, or put some cameras behind, and have interesting things like different retro technology and stuff that I have, that we could showcase different types of like old school tech and things that maybe like different things every week, and different cool things that I have sitting around that might be on like the roof or something. To I think that'd be kind of interesting, especially during the stormy seasons. To do like a GoPro outside where we could look up at like maybe the storm while we're streaming, and have like that and like a picture-in-picture type thing. So I'm trying to think of some creative things to bring to the stream, as well as doing the IRL streams. But I kind of got to wait now, I guess. Supposedly the app is now bricked for anybody that is not over 1,000. So I've got to get a few more subscribers before I can stream on my phone again, which is odd because I could just stream from 539 Productions. So, yeah, it brings an interesting dilemma, because for a very, very short period of time, we won't actually be able to do any travel streams or car streams until we get 3 more subs now, 4 more subs maybe. So it's kind of crazy, but yeah, I guess that's how it worked. I haven't tried to do it since, so I really don't know. Maybe since I have my app and it hasn't been updated that I know of, maybe it would still work for some reason, so who knows. But I guess theoretically I could anyway. It's just that you can't do it from the YouTube app. I can still stream from third-party apps like I'm doing right now. I'm streaming from OBS, so I could always just download another app, something like Streamlabs, onto my phone and broadcast from the road that way. So yeah. But at any rate, I'm only expecting that to delay things by maybe a week, and we really haven't been doing any of those streams here recently, so not really that big of a deal. Oh, sorry, I'm missing some comments. Sorry, guys. Is it a new tattoo on my right hand? No new tattoos, excuse me. Might be getting some more here soon, but everything so far is the same old stuff. Yeah, I'm going to be hopefully making it to South Carolina here soon. I'd like to make a good East Coast trip and sort of just maybe start up north and work my way down the coast. There's a lot of East Coast and New England states that I have never been to that I would love to, and a lot of stuff that I've never, there are a lot of places that I've never filmed, but I've been to that I would love to actually include on the channel. Like, I would love to do some filming in New York. I've loved being there. I had some great experiences in New York City, and so I'd love to have the chance to film there, as well as just the state in general. And Virginia was also another one where I had a lot of fun, a lot of cool adventures years and years ago, but I never got the chance to film it. So that would be really cool, which I regret now because I actually had authorization to film on one of the biggest military vessels, arguably in the world, and I didn't end up filming, but I did take some pictures, but they didn't really come out well. So maybe next time I go back, but unfortunately, I doubt that my friend is still in the Navy and would get me access like that again. So I don't know if that'll ever happen, but it was a lot of fun to see for myself, and glad to have that experience. So maybe I'll tell the story one day here on the second channel as sort of like a well, I guess just a story video, just sit down and talk about something that happened. I know people do it a lot with the haunted stories, and I think it'd be kind of a fun one. Yeah, definitely Jersey too. Yeah. I mean, I would love, if possible, to like start in Maine and just work my way all the way down through New England and then end in like Florida. I think that'd be a fun road trip. And I've never been north of New York. So, I mean, we're missing a lot of states, we're missing New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, Maine, all the states up there that I could have some really cool experiences in, and, and of course, making it back to Canada would be a lot of fun too. 'Cause I've never had the chance to film in Canada, and had some really cool adventures in Canada that would have made some fun content. I took a train trip pretty deep into the Canadian wilderness, and that was a lot of fun. And that would have been a great episode, probably for either channel. And I would have loved to have shown you guys that place that we made it to. Yeah, that far up would probably be in Maine during the winter would probably be pretty bad. Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun. Absolutely. Reading Pennsylvania. That'd be a cool one to visit. But yeah, now I have to get my passport to go to Canada, unfortunately. The last time I was in Canada, I did not. Well, the last 4 times I was in Canada, I did not need a passport to get there. But apparently, you need a passport now. Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah, I never knew about that. Yeah, the mass graves are always sort of sad. I've never visited any for the channel that I remember. I've had a few that I was going to, but yeah, it's always a sad situation. Sorry, guys, my allergies are really been kicking into gear with spring, and then I decided to be an idiot and not take any medication for like 3 days. Well, the only thing I take is just pretty much a generic off-the-shelf antihistamine, and it works just fine. But like, I don't have bad allergies, but like, um, it just gets bad in the spring, and if I don't take like an antihistamine for a few days, then it just makes me sound terrible. So I took one earlier, but it really hasn't kicked in yet. So if I sound like trash for the stream, I apologize. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Checking the notification again, making sure I am all up to date. You have to look that up. I've never heard about the Cleveland school fire. All right. Well, not necessarily trying to like run out of here, but I don't know if anybody has any questions. I don't really know what direction to take the stream in at this point. Again, I know it's the holiday weekend here, and people have got stuff going on, so I don't want to keep everybody on here for too long. But if anybody had any questions or anything about the episodes that have been out here recently, or any subjects that they'd like to talk about, or any other questions that they'd like to ask, let me know. And if not, then we'll sort of wind this thing on down a little bit here for the night. I know around here it's getting to be almost midnight, but again, I'm not really in a hurry to end it, but just gonna, like I said, feel it out here. Oh yeah, yeah. I was just watching a video of that the other day. I think they call it a. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I kind of understand why, because of like the very loose religious connection, but I think it's people call it when cats like speak in tongues. Is what it's called. Not literally, but I mean, I think that's the nickname for it, where they make the noises that sound like they're saying words. Um, I've had a few places that you get bad feelings about, not necessarily um ghost related, I wouldn't say. Uh Maybe sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes places just have a weird feeling to them in general that I can't explain. And then sometimes it's just human related. There's just weird people there, or they're doing strange things. Not weird people, I shouldn't say. But they're slowly driving around and staring at you, or too many people are driving through, and um and no one seems, some of these places, it's like I'll have um like I hate to I'm saying this in such a confusing way. I feel like right now I'm gonna back up. There was a stream I did, actually. I think it might be gone now. But I was doing a live stream, and these random people just kept pulling in, and it was different people every time, and they would all come up and stay behind me and just stare at me and spy on me. And the one truck would drive through, and they would all drive by me with their windows down, and then he would exit the graveyard and go down some other street and come back around another way and then come back into the graveyard. And every time, like, I got close to him and tried to say anything, he would drive away and exit and then come back in another way. And then so yeah, I've run into a lot of weird places. A lot of places are oddly almost protected to too high of a level. Like, I can understand some places that have had problems with like vandalism and things like that. Certain things like that, it's obvious that there's going to be raised security and police and things like that, and that's completely understandable. But some of these places, it's like almost gets to the point where it feels like somebody's hiding something, like where there's maybe something more to the. And I hate to be like that conspiracy person, but some of the places, very few, but some of the places, it feels like there's too much protection by not the right people. So, if that makes any sense. Um, I went in a tunnel in the middle of winter. Um, oh, it might have been in like a drainage system. I did go do some actual tunneling in drainage tunnels, which is another kind of cool yet extremely dangerous, and something I wouldn't recommend. But yeah, it's kind of a dangerous form of urban exploration. But yeah, now that I think, it wasn't in the winter because I had some video of the interesting ice formations, or some still. Those might have been still photos. I can't remember the exact editing. Oh yeah, with that one I can't really get into the exact details of why, but I for very good reasons, uh I was 100% certain that it was a lot safer to be in that location than in a normal um drainage system. Like, I would never have done something like that in like downtown New York City. Um but that specific place, although a very elaborate underground network of tunnels, is not nearly as dangerous as some of them. So, um, definitely not without its dangers, for sure. But I definitely was aware of what I was getting into before I went in there. And I had been there before, too. So, Cat's Cordal? I've never heard that one. It's interesting. Um, I don't know if I've had a real favorite. Yeah, again, I don't really in anything really. I don't have too many favorites. I kind of just enjoy the diversity of every. I know that sounds like such a generic cop out answer, but it really isn't for me because that really is the truth. Like, that's kind of how I live everything in my life. I just kind of like to have a sort of that revolving door sort of life where, like I like going to different places, different environments, different parts of the country, different types of locations, and that is exactly why my channel is the way it is. I might be in an abandoned mine in the middle of the desert in one video, or I might be in a hotel in Idaho, or I might be in a graveyard in the middle of the Midwest, or you never know, and that's what I kind of like about it. And uh, so yeah, I guess everything's my favorite in a way. I mean, some are definitely better than others. Some of the bigger locations. So some of the bigger graveyards are definitely my favorites. Some of the bigger abandoned locations. Definitely the times that I've done my collaborations. The doing one of my favorites, probably doing the hospital and medical center with Urban Ghost Urban Exploration was a lot of fun, and Holy Walkers. The abandoned mine in the desert there with Xavier from Cryptid Hunter channel is another one. Definitely the hotel in Idaho with Ryan from RJ32 would definitely be one of my favorites. I mean, the really amazing graveyard in the San Francisco Bay Area that I did with Steve was really cool and really old and had some earthquake damage and some very unique trees in it that basically completely covered an entire section of the graveyard to the point where it was nearly hidden from the rest of the graveyard, and that was cool. Um, the Kentucky locations were also up there. So, yeah, it's just I've done so many cool ones. It's kind of hard to choose any one, but yeah, I can definitely narrow it down a little bit. So those are some of my favorites. But yeah. I mean, then there's been the crazy stuff that's happened that, those are always, very memorable. When we had the interaction with the cops in Ohio, and then there's a few times that we've had some negative interactions with people. Not all of those are up still. For one reason or other, I've taken some things down. So, yeah, I don't know. Well, I think with the mausoleums, it just depends on where you go. Some of the newer stuff can be interesting, but yeah, there's not as much of a push. I don't think these days towards the elaborate private family mausoleums, and so a lot of people that would choose that sort of thing are just choosing to be in one of the larger public mausoleums. So, yeah, that might be some of the reason that there's not as many elaborate, beautiful, mausoleums that are very, very new. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm assuming that's probably the one with the eternal flame. Then with the military, it had the military vaults, and then we also visited the sort of indoor-outdoor mausoleum. Yeah, that was really cool. And normally the eternal flames, at least the ones that I have found in the past, are not that large. So a lot of them are just real small little holes in the ground with a 6-inch foot tall flame, and not this massive blowtorch like that thing was. And that was really cool. And it was loud enough to really be able to hear that gas burning off, and I thought that was really neat. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, it was a interesting part. Now I'm trying to remember my own schedule that I chose with my episodes. I'm trying to think what's scheduled for tomorrow. This should be interesting. So, let's look here. What are our stats looking like? Going for 2 hours, 44 minutes, 2 hours, 45 minutes just right now. All right, I'm going to take a quick couple-minute break here. I'll be right back. I'm not leaving this time. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'll be right back, people. I'm just going to take a quick break to freshen up here a bit and stretch. All right, we are back. Yeah. On the loading screen, I have my photo that I edited. So it looks like you guys can peer into the command center from the inside out. Editing a video. Always a fun process. Well, it depends on if you like editing or not, but I always enjoy editing. Yeah, best of luck with the new lights and flashlight. I get carpal tunnel easily. Doing IT work for so many years and tearing all those thousands upon thousands of computers down and using so many small screwdrivers and tools, and yeah, my wrist and hands and fingers don't like me very much anymore. Which is one of the reasons I do very little IT work anymore. Really only my own for the channel. It can sort of hurt anymore to I lost train of my thought for a second. To like build a PC or whatever. Hermitite. Oh, is that the magnetic bracelets or whatever? Well, yeah. I probably need a good month solid of just like not touching any technology whatsoever. So. I'm always bad. Like I'm leaned almost completely back right now. That's one of the bad things about having a nice mic set up like this, is that you can sort of have the way leaned back. So I'm always thinking to myself if there's ever going to be a time that I just fall straight backwards or whatever. But so far so good. Sorry about that. Occasionally I check on the stats on different things. And so, as you know, I will fall silent for just a moment, but Yeah, I was trying to look to see. Some stats on the stream, but it wasn't working for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I kind of have some issues with my index finger on my right hand. Oh, man. Yeah, that sounds rough, Mary. Best of luck to you. Yeah. But yeah, I completely understand. You got to do what you got to do sometimes. You got to make it by. Hey there, Todd. Good to have you. Thanks for joining us. Happy Easter, Kenneth. Yeah, it's been fun doing things on a Saturday. Just now turned Sunday for me here in the Midwest. So we just ended the Saturday. But yeah, it's been a good stream. Good thing you're ambidextrous. Yeah, that's awesome. I wish I was. I have attempted to get better at using my left hand. I'm just still not very good at it. I was born in Indiana. Yep. Yeah, other than that, yeah, no real interesting details or anything. No crazy stories or anything, but yeah. Born in the Midwest. Lived here all my life, and now I've sort of traveled a lot, decent amount for most of my life, and then do it a lot more now. But yeah, that is the story. Thank you, Todd. Yeah, I thought, I mean, even from my own personal opinion, I was pretty happy with how they turned out. I was quite satisfied with, especially the amount of footage that I was able to get. I was quite surprised. I wasn't expecting to get that much footage, and I really did get to film quite a few of the mausoleums there, although I'm sure I left more than a few behind, so it'd be an interesting place to even go back to one of these days. It literally just turned 12 a.m. 3 minutes ago. So 12:03 a.m. Newcastle, yeah. I actually went to school near there. Yeah, all the recent videos were from the Indianapolis location. So that's pretty near downtown Indy. Um, at least on a matter of speaking. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I mean, Indy's a big place due to a lot of reasons, but I'm sure you're aware. Yeah, no birds here. They are very quiet right now. Yeah, sorry if I'm a little quiet tonight, guys. I really don't know exactly what all to talk about other than answering a few of you guys' questions. I don't have a lot of new news other than what I've been telling you guys for the last few. Well, I guess we haven't streamed for the last few weeks, but other than what I was telling you last time, just because the travel plans got put on hold a little bit, just so I could take a much needed break. Other than just the sad little tiny breaks I've taken in the past, and been otherwise glued to my computer doing social media while I took the breaks. So I sort of took a real break this time and tried to really only do social media here and there. I'd respond to a few things on Twitter here and there, and then did a few Instagram things here and there, but pretty much steered away from any type of editing or any type of filming or any streaming or anything like that, just to sort of clear my head a little bit. And then I'm going to be hitting the road here again this coming week as much as I can with the weather. And then, things should be just sort of ramping up from there. Although, really, you shouldn't see anything different on the 539 Productions channel. It should just continue on at about 2 episodes a week up until June, and then we'll ramp things up to about 4 episodes a week from there on out. So that's the plan. Am I doing anything for Easter? Probably not anything complicated. Just probably get together with the family. Yeah. Indy's huge. Laws are weird in Indiana, so I think I can't remember it's either once a city gets so large it can take over the entire county, or once a county gets so large it can take over the city. And it's one of the few places in the world. I think there's only one other place in the world like it. It's Indiana, and then some small country in like Europe, I think. Same time zone. Awesome. Yeah. Shout out to all my people in the Eastern time zone. Thanks for joining us, Matthew. You have a good night. Any future collaborations? At this point, my only solid plans are, well, I shouldn't say even solid plans, but I do have loose plans, I should say, to get together with the channels that I've worked with before. We might be getting together, or I might be getting together with the guys from Urban Ghost Urban Exploration again when they make it up to this general area. Not my exact area, but I'm going to be meeting them possibly in the Illinois area. And then I'm going to be trying to head out west again, probably later on this year. And whenever I do that, I'll be meeting up with the same people again and maybe more. But I have been in contact with a few people. There was a channel in Missouri that I was going to do a collaboration with, and that might still be happening. If I make it back to Alabama, there could be another channel or two that I might be doing a collaboration with. And I'm trying to see. Yeah, I don't know if there's anybody other than the channels that I've already worked with. I don't know that you guys would really know that, at least that's in the works right now. Franco TV. I mean, I think he's another Florida guy, so I mean, it would definitely be possible, but yeah, it would just be dependent on whenever I'm down in that area again, or down in the Florida area, or if he's up here. But yeah, that'd be a possibility. I don't know if he knows anything about me, honestly, but possibly. You never know. I know that Urban Ghost Urban Exploration recently did a collaboration with Franco TV, so you never know. In Illinois, they have a city that, it's Chicago. Yeah, I've been to Chicago many times. Urban Ghost Urban Exploration is a lot bigger of a channel than what I am. So if they decide that they'd like to do a meet and greet, then I am absolutely down to do that along with them and invite you guys to join in on that event. I won't be hosting my own. Maybe when I've hit the 100,000 mark, we will definitely have our own meetups from time to time. But yeah, at this point, if they decide to do one, I'll definitely be down to get involved if I'm out there with them. And so I would definitely let you guys know ahead of time so that anybody in that area could plan to come and hang out and have fun. And who knows, maybe we'll do another group explore again. But yeah, possibly. It would be the best answer I can give. Omar or Steve, I don't know. Again, some of these people are a lot bigger than what I am, and I don't even know if they know who I am. I mean, again, I know that Omar is friends with Rob and Joe, and so it is possible that in passing that they have heard my name, but other than that, I don't honestly even know if they know who I am. But yeah, I would work with them. Omar seems like a really, really good guy. I don't know Steve very well, so I don't really know. But I'm open to work with almost anybody, as long as they're a good person. And someone that I feel is a good fit for the 539 Productions channel to do a collaboration with, and I'm down. So yeah, if Omar ever wants to get a hold of me, absolutely, I would be down for that experience. I think he'd be a cool guy to meet. And as far as I know, from what I've heard from Rob and Joe, he's a real good guy. So yeah, I would love to meet up sometime all together. Yeah, that would be neat too. But yeah, he's down in. I believe he's also in the Florida uh, area. So in terms of the YouTube community, they've really created sort of this community a lot like the West Coast YouTube community, and so they have a lot of good connections with each other and work together a lot. And I think that's a really it says a lot for their community down there that they've really established a fairly strong YouTube community that really is only seen um, a lot of times in LA. So it's kind of cool to see a section of YouTube that's sort of separated from what would be traditionally the Hollywood center of the world, and seeing them sort of create that really unique environment of YouTubers and a unique um, variety of people that work together. So yeah, if any of them want to come up and get together and do a collaboration, I am definitely down anytime. Thank you, Jade. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think we'll if not this year, we'll probably hit that 100,000 mark next year. We're growing we're not the fastest growing channel on YouTube, but we're also not the slowest, and I think we've made a lot of growth here in the last few months and in the last year. I mean, it was really just last year that we crossed 10,000. So we hit 10,000 last year, and then in 6 months we doubled it. So I mean, that's good. So we're not doing bad. So it's definitely an upturn. It's not like we're going down. So yeah, I think we'll hit it. We'll get there. Hey there, Debbie. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're having a great Easter. Great holiday weekend. So yeah. Yeah, I think we're on our way. That Florida girl, I have heard of her. I'm not familiar. But somebody either they got in contact with me or someone recommended me, because I know I've looked that up before, but I don't remember why. If they've done work with UGUE, then I know them. I'm not personally. Again, the only people that I've had personal contact with would be Rob, Joe, and Todd. Other than that, if any of them know me, then it's just through conversation. Well, thanks for stopping by, Debbie. You have a great night. Yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. Some of you can't stay, but you'll take the time to at least stop in and say hi, and that's really cool. I really appreciate that. Never worry that I'm gonna be mad or anything, or that you have the obligation to stay. The fact that some of you guys will just pop in to say hi is awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see how we're doing here. I don't want to stay on here for too much longer, but oops. Okay, so we're at 3 hours, 14 minutes. Not bad. Oh, no, I've actually never come across anybody visiting um at one of those places. Um yeah, as much as they're designed to be visited, it's something I've never encountered. And maybe just because a lot of them that I visit are really, really old and don't necessarily have any living relatives. So, or the living relatives are so far, descended from them that they don't really have an emotional investment in coming there. And so yeah, never. Um yeah, and I've really only run across the one, and I think it came up in the last video or two. The one place that it was used consistently from like the mid 1800s to the present, and it wasn't a mausoleum. It was just um, it was a monument style crypt, above ground crypt that had like the seating around it, and it had consistent use between, I think, Civil War times to present. I think the last person had been buried. I'd have to look it up again. I'm not good with remembering dates, but I want to say early to mid 2000s. I might be wrong about that though. I'm gonna have to look that up because yeah. I visited so much at that recent location. I mean, pretty much the last 6 mausoleum episodes, and then the grave of President Harrison, and there's another one which might be coming out tomorrow or might have already come out. I don't even know anymore, but there's a one called a Pioneer Graveyard, and that is all from one big location. No worries. Yeah, whenever you need to take off, you have a great night and best of luck with your music in the morning. Yeah, I think I'm going to be calling it a night here relatively shortly. I'm sure I'm going to be wanting to get things going a little bit early in the morning and maybe actually provide some help with the family rather than just um, being there for the main event, if you know what I mean. I'm not a main event person anymore. I like being in the background too sometimes, in the behind the scenes action. But I'm sure if I do any cooking or anything like that, I'll take some Instagram shots. I don't know what all I'll be doing. I think most things are already planned already and taken care of, but I'm sure I'll be able to take a few shots here and there, some things, and maybe have some fun and share a few things here or there. So I might be popping in and out of Twitter and Instagram. So, have I ever heard of a gravity train? That sounds familiar. add some like background music or something in because I'm being boring tonight. Thank you, Mary. Okay. How many more episodes of the indie? Honestly, I have no idea. That would depend on what came out today. All those episodes were done editing a while ago and have been previously uploaded and scheduled. So, I honestly don't remember. The last few episodes should be the grave of President Harrison and the Pioneer Graveyard. So when those come out, everything else should be finished. And I thought that was this weekend. So I don't know. Yeah, it's been such a busy, crazy few weeks, and I've been upgrading the command center along with editing and all this stuff, and so I've kind of lost track of all that. So I really don't know. I think it's pretty much over, though. I'm going to be uploading new stuff starting next weekend, so we should be moving on to new locations by next weekend. Hey there, Savannah. Yeah, happy holidays to you. I've never happy sacrifice. I've never even heard of that. How do I find locations? A variety of online research and in person. Like sometimes I, just search around after I've filmed at another location until I find other cool locations in the area. Or sometimes I do online research or research via you can use Google Maps to get like the satellite or aerial imagery, and that's a good place to start a lot of times. So there's all kinds of ways that I use to research locations, and then occasionally I get suggestions. Oh, well, okay. Well, that's good. That means I have a whole nother weekend of videos coming. So, and tomorrow might be. It could be tomorrow coming out too. Because I think the final episode was a 1 episode weekend. Unless I upload another episode. And I think that was the Pioneer Graveyard, which should come out next Saturday. So So yeah, currently, to anybody that doesn't know, most of my uploads for right now are going to be Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not in that particular time zone, you can calculate the difference from there. So. Um, oh, I did look up the gravity train thing. I didn't realize that they had actually built any. 'Cause I know it's maybe I'm thinking of a different type of gravity train too. Yeah, because the one I'm seeing is showing that it's never been created ever on Earth. It's a concept that has to do with the gravitational pull and having a tunnel of a long distance pulling a train downward and then slowing down as it went up the upward curve. And that, according to this, has never been done. But then again, there might be another thing called a gravity train that's been done on a smaller scale too. So I don't know. Yeah, if you could send like a specific link, because I think there might be several different things called gravity trains. Because the one I'm looking at is only theoretical. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I am seeing something else called a gravity train. Now that I'm looking further here. Maybe. I can't click on it right now. Yeah, see, it looks like there's a lot of things called gravity trains. Gravity trains are also devices that are used to store energy. They're like kinetic energy batteries. Or potential energy battery. I can't. Are you talking about like the mountain ski lifts? Do you know any of the resorts' names? If you can give me a resort name, then I could look up a specific incident. Because I think I'm seeing the wrong gravity train. Do I have merch? I do have merch. A limited amount at the moment. I have I do have t-shirts and a limited amount of other merch available at, I think it's shop.spreadshirt.com. Oh, hold on. I'll look it up. But yeah, I do sell merch on Spreadshirt. The links are in the 539 Productions videos and might be on these as well. I don't really know, to be honest. I am currently creating and poster prints of some of my photography and Photoshop work. So if you've seen any of the cooler photography and Photoshop work that I've done on Instagram, like my Golden Gate Bridge shots where the bridge is in color and the rest is in like black and white and all that, I'm going to start releasing like prints and posters of a lot of the better ones on my I can't remember the. This is how bad at names I am now. I'm trying to remember the name of the site. Yeah, it's not my Spreadshirt. I do have a few posters, I think, available on the Spreadshirt, though, too. So they are there, too. But I'm going to be releasing a bunch of prints on the other site. But other than that, I have, I think, a couple T-shirt designs, and then, like, some mouse pads and things like that. Just general merch, but not really. Spreadshirt. It's pretty good. It has a decent quality. I've seen a few of them in person now. When we were doing the Alabama meetup, I got to see one of them in person, and it is a decent quality, but it's not anything where I'm like designing anything with designers. It's just pretty much at this moment just sites that I can upload my own designs to and have them printed out on a per order basis. But in the future, I'll be doing a lot more merch and stuff for a couple different reasons. And I'll be going into more of that later. But yeah, in the future, we'll be doing more merch and going to be doing a lot more photography merch here too. So I'm hoping that that's something that people might like. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate that. No worries, Mary. Yeah, however long you can watch. Oh yeah, I just saw that one up above too. I'm sorry, I'm missing. I'm like jumping around on the chat here, so I apologize. Yeah. So yeah, that's the idea for the merch. I will be releasing new T-shirt designs too. They need to be updated. A lot of them are older designs. I think there's only 2, maybe 3 at most, and yeah, there's just the first few shirts that I ever designed. So I'm looking forward to hitting Photoshop real hard here again soon and making some more designs. But first, I wanted to do the prints and get those all set up. And I might be using that same site for T-shirts in the future too. So I might be switching over. It's a little bit more intuitive of a service. One of the reasons I switched over for the prints was because the other site was having huge issues with my images, and it was basically I would upload the images to create a poster, and it would flip the image sideways, and which should be a very simple fix that they don't support. And so instead of just flipping the image back to the correct format that it was uploaded in originally, they just give you an error message that says, we're sorry, your image isn't in the proper format, and you're going to have to re-edit the image and re-upload. And there's no possible way to fix the error that occurs on their end, so there's no way to fix it in Photoshop. So I pretty much just left me dead in the water for half of my prints because it was literally screwing them up and then telling me it was my problem. So I just pretty much said I wasn't willing to spend the time to fix their mistakes or figure out how to fix their mistakes. I decided just to switch over to the new service. So that may be switching over entirely here pretty soon. So if so, though, it'll be updated in the links on the videos. So yeah, if anybody happens to be interested in the merch for some reason. So, you know. But yeah, to get back to what I was saying, I am gonna go and check out the link just in case, because I did want to give you guys an updated link on the shop, just in case anybody who's here who might be interested in merch that has never checked out the merch can look at it and see what all is available. Although the site's kind of strange too, because it's like you could refresh it 3 different times and never see the same stuff twice. And then like I'm like insulting my site that does merch for me. But yeah, like I'm at all products right now and it's not showing all of my products. I don't think. No, I don't think so. I don't see. I swear I have a mouse pad. I have phone cases. Yeah, there's iPhone cases. They don't show up in all this. And this is why I don't like this site. But it is shop.spreadshirt.com/539productions. If anybody wants to check out the merch, you can take a look at it over there. Do not look at all products. That is not all the products. I would shop by category, if either men's apparel, women's apparel, kids apparel, accessories, or cases, because for whatever reason, I can never, on either Firefox or Safari, I've used multiple browsers and Chrome, I've never ever gotten it to show me all the products in the all products section, and it won't let me go to the like next page. It's not like I'm missing anything like that. Like I'm literally at the bottom of the page and there's no place to hit next. So I don't know, but I'll put the link up here just in case. But yeah, very strange. So I'm kind of in the process of switching over to another service right now. Yeah. I think I actually filmed a few graveyards in Athens not too long ago. I might have actually filmed it. I don't really do for hire type services, but like, if it was something that I thought could be included on the 539 Productions channel, I would definitely film it and gladly give you a copy. I mean, I can, offer like a high definition copy of the video for you to keep for yourself or something like that. But I don't do like a for hire type of service like that though. Only because, in a situation like that, if that were to like get out and like get to the point where too many people wanted it, it could go crazy, something like that. But possibly it would be the answer. I would if you want to get with me in email. Yeah, I think I was at Mount Hope. I'm pretty sure I already filmed Mount Hope. If not, it was one of the random I know I stop at a few places. I did a bunch of filming down there, and then on the way back up, I did the Mausoleum Row episode, and after that, I tried to do another series, and actually before that, in between that, the Mausoleum Row and the Southern Indiana stuff, I tried to do another few different graveyards and uh, stopped at like 3 or 4 places, and that's what made up the part of the fails and gone wrong episode last time that I did that. I don't remember what it was called, but it might have been that. Let me look at it here. Because I'm almost positive there's already an episode on this. Hmm. Okay. I don't know if that's the one I had marked. Alright. Okay, no, that's not one of the ones I stopped at. So, I cemetery names are so hard because, like, I think I know I've filmed at a cemetery called Mount Hope, but it wasn't that Mount Hope. But yeah, I can give it a shot the next time I'm out that direction. I'll make sure to save it here. But yeah, yeah, I even remember the area. I mean, I've been through Athens before, multiple times, but hmm. Oh, I think I know. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, yeah, just shoot me an email or something, and I'll figure out a way to get a video or something over to you uh, if I make it out there and make an episode out of it. So I'm sure I can find a way that you'd be able to download it from somewhere, or I'd be able to transfer it to you. Yeah, there's definitely a chance. Yeah, hit me up and yeah, we can discuss it. Yeah, all the logo design is done by me. Yeah, everything's just my own Photoshop work. Thank you though. Yeah. Um yeah, I try to make sure that there's something for everyone there. Yeah, to hate the offer only men's shirts, I would feel kind of dumb. But yeah, you got to be careful of what sites you go to because some of the content, the quality of the merchandise that's available is below par. But yeah, this site actually is pretty good. No, I've never been to New Orleans. I want to go though, for sure. Although I've heard that some of the better graveyards now are completely closed off, and you have to have like special permission or like um um a tour guide. I completely lost my words there for a minute. Because there's the famous grave, the Marie Lebeau, I can't remember exactly, but that because I think hers is off limits now. That's what I heard anyway. I of course could be wrong because I am not local to that area, but I had heard that they had some issues with either people stealing, like grave robbery, or it might have just been vandalism. Oh no, I think they were because there was a at her grave there was a rumor that if you go there and you write something on her grave, then she would like grant you like good luck or there's a rumor about there's an urban legend around her grave, and you're supposed to go there and write something on her grave, and so many people were going there and writing on her grave that it was causing issues, and so they closed off the entire graveyard to everybody. I'm frozen. Is anybody else seeing a frozen image? I might be using up too much of my system's resources right now. Okay, yeah, hold on here. I don't know what's going on, guys. It's on my end. I think I accidentally took up too much of my system's resources trying to look up a bunch of stuff online at once. Surprisingly, tabs use a lot of memory. Okay. Yeah, it looks like the problem is partially the software connection between my phone and the computer. So, yeah, that is strange. I'm not sure. It won't let me reset it. Whenever I switch back, it's like it's still buffering. So, I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, I'm back to the old-fashioned webcam right now. Stream. If not, have a great holiday. Okay, I think we're in the clear. Okay, so yeah, I have the adjustable desk up a little bit because I'm doing some wiring underneath it, so I couldn't lower it all the way down. So basically, the webcam height and angle is going to look extra extreme right now because I have it up about, the desk is sitting up about 6 to 8 inches right now. So it's really kind of in between sitting and standing height right now. So it looked really fine, really good for the tripod there with the camera, or the camera phone, I mean the iPhone. But since I can't use that, since it's oddly buffering, which I don't, maybe it has had, no, it's fully charged too. I don't know what was going on. I'll have to look into it, because that is a strange issue. And it happened once before too. It was like after a certain period of streaming, the audio was all of a sudden out of sync, and I had to switch to the webcam, and then it was fine. So I don't know. Very strange, and I'm going to have to do some research probably for next stream. But at this point, we've been streaming for almost 4 hours now, so I'm just going to call it a night. I think everybody's probably needing to either get off to bed or go to work or go about their holiday plans or whatever. So I'll try and finish up here on some of these last few questions here, and then maybe we'll just call it a night here. But yeah, my apologies for the horrible looking video that this hideous webcam is broadcasting right now. It looks so grainy, and the colors are so bad. Oh well, at least it's at the end of the stream and not the beginning. So okay, the X's, okay, yeah. So yeah, I would love to get in there and see that. If I can, I suppose if I got a hold of the right person, or an official tour guide that could give me a tour. But in a situation like that, very special location, would really love to do it, but I feel like for somebody like me, not because like I feel like I'm special, I mean for the sake of the video and the quality of the episode, I would probably only do something like that if I could get somebody to graciously give me a private tour. But just due to like complications and people not wanting to be a part of the filmmaking experience and potentially catching people saying things that they don't want to be caught saying, or that I don't want to record them saying, or just all kinds of different things. It would be something that I would rather film alone, or in collaboration with another channel, but not as part of a public tour, or even a small private tour. I would rather get a completely private tour with like me and like another YouTube channel. But who knows? I know that is possible, but I just don't know how easy it is to make something like that happen. But I guess the answer is probably the bigger I am, the easier it'll be. So, but yeah, there's gonna be lots of traveling this year. A lot more than last year. We got all kinds of stuff in play right now. Like I said, we'll be going back to Kentucky probably a couple of times this year. We'll be going back out west. We'll be hitting a few states that I've never been to before. Yeah. And then there's all kinds of crazy stuff in between time that I'm going to be trying to do here. I've got a few semi-local locations. Probably about, I think now I have about at least 8 little smaller, not necessarily small, but medium-sized locations, small to medium, I should say, sized locations that I want to be filming around here, and then probably head down and do a series in Louisville, and then possibly going to be heading over to either Cleveland or maybe there's a few other cities I might be hitting in Ohio. I might be doing a couple Ohio trips, maybe some Michigan trips. I'm just going to be trying to do a lot of small trips here and there, and more as the weather gets better here. This month has been a little bit rainy, so not the best time, especially with certain types of locations. As I've said in the past, it's a little bit harder to do some of the bigger cemetery and graveyard locations in the rain and the mud. I don't like to do that. Sometimes the abandoned locations are just fine, and some of the other adventure type travel locations are fine to do in the rain, but you just gotta pick and choose the locations very carefully, and then sometimes that means that there's nothing nearby that's really useful or capable of being filmed in that type of weather. So you never know, but we'll see how it goes here. It looks like we'll be getting a few good days here and there throughout the week, so I'm going to try and take advantage of that when I can and get some cool episodes here for next weekend and the coming weeks here. So, yeah. Other than that, I can't think of anything. Obviously, if you've never checked out any of the other social media sites, make sure to check that out. I do Instagram at 539 Productions and have thousands of really cool still photos from the various adventures that I've gone on over the years, as well as some adventures that I've gone on completely off video and only documented it via the Instagram account. So if you wanted to get some extra behind the scenes and some extra locations, some cool artsy looking shots, some stuff that I've done in Photoshop and things like that, then make sure to check out the Instagram account too. You can get that at instagram.com/539productions. I also do Twitter for updates on episodes, if there's ever any delays, if there's ever any extras, if there's ever any upcoming live streams that I'm planning out ahead of time, or any other information, anything that's on my mind. I'm usually on Twitter every day, a couple times a day, answering questions, interacting with people, and talking with other creators. So if you guys want to follow me over on there, that is twitter.com/Matt Isaac. So other than that, can't really think of anything else that I need to update anybody on. Yeah, we are good at doing the live streams here for a long time. I think our record is 9 or 10 hours, actually. I've never done any of the full 24-hour streams, but we've done almost half a day. Pretty close. A few hours away, but not quite. But, yeah, maybe we'll do a 24-hour challenge here one of these days and do a stream from a cool location here once we hit the 1,000 mark. That'd be kind of a fun little way to celebrate the 1,000 mark, to do some sort of cool 24-hour stream, maybe on the road even, sort of head out on the road and stream the entire way. To probably wouldn't make some of them I've erased because they don't go nicely with the algorithm anymore. So some of the longer streams will disappear after a while. But a lot of them I'll leave up for at least a week. Some of the shorter streams, some of the even couple-hour streams like this one, the 4-hour streams or less, I'll just let them go. But if they're super, super long, eventually I'll delete them. But yeah, occasionally we'll go all night. But not tonight. We got other things to do. I suppose that most of you got other things to do as well. So Many thanks to everybody for being here. Appreciate you all for watching the videos over on 539 Productions, and also for subscribing over here on the second channel and hanging out here on the stream. And we will be doing this again shortly. I am going to try and do this again in the next few days. Again, I am finishing up some updates here to the command center, so it's going to be looking different here over the next few days as a lot of the plants get moved around, a lot of things get hung up and repotted, and yeah, lots of work going around in the background right now. So definitely going to be showing you guys some of those updates here over the next few days, and then we'll be doing regular streaming here from pretty much here on out. Especially now that we're passing the 1,000 mark here on the second channel, I really want to, again, start really putting a lot of extra effort into it and making it into another special channel here on YouTube that we can put some other types of content up on as well. As some of you know that came to the channel when it first started out here, the second channel, I got sidetracked there for a second, but anyway, the second channel when it first started out actually did have regular episodes on it for a long time. I did a lot of behind the scenes episodes, a lot of off topic content, and had a lot of fun doing that. So I'm looking forward to getting back into some of that again too. So thanks so much, Mary. Appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully you all have a really, really great night. Appreciate you all being here. Hey there, Lola. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was a really good time. We were about to actually just sign off here myself and call it a night. So, yeah, many thanks to everybody. Hope you all have a good night. Thanks, Jade. Thanks, Lola. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Savannah, Mary, Todd, Kenneth. Am I missing anybody? I hope not. To anybody who's just out there watching and not chatting, thank you so much for being there and watching. Love you all. Hope you have a good holiday weekend. Whether you are celebrating any of the holidays that are occurring this weekend or not, I hope that you have a good one. And I will see you all in the next live stream. Bye, everybody.